I live in a rural area in County Cavan, about 3 miles from the village of Kinnerleck, and 13 years ago, there was a branch of the Ulster Bank in the town with an ATM, open all hours. There was a branch of Cavan Credit Union, and there was a post office. Now there are none of those. There's an ATM service provided through one of the shops when the ownership changed, so at least that's there for during open hours. But the post office there was one of the 257 that have closed in the last decade. It's one of 7 that closed in Cavan, all in rural areas. And the reason given at the time by An Post for the closure was that there was under 500 people living in the village, but they ignored the fact that there was 5,000 people living in a 5-kilometre hinterland of that village, that there were 40 businesses in and around the village, and about the same amount, again, within a couple of miles of the village. It resulted in people then having to travel to a couple of nearby towns, one or other, or 2 nearby towns, to access the post office services. And with that, they actually took their business out of the village, because they weren't going to go in and collect a pension or whatever other payment through the post office and then come back into Kinnerleck to do their shopping or to go for their cup of coffee or whatever it might be. So the village suffered as a result of that, and business was lost to the village. I mean, the post office is important, and it offers financial services, it offers access to social welfare, it offers communications infrastructure, and that was really important in my area as well, because there were a lot of people from Eastern Europe working in and around the village over the last 20 years, and they use the post office on a continual basis to contact home and to send money home and so forth, and they couldn't do that anymore. They had to then travel again, and most of them do not have cars, and had to rely on public transport to get them to another village to use the post office here. You said yourself at the beginning of your speech, Minister, that there's a social aspect to the post office, and you're correct in that. But we should actually respect that, and we need to see the outdated contract terms changed. Because post offices, when the postmaster is retiring or the postmistress, they're closing because it's not attracting new entrants. So we need to see a new contract, we need to see a new approach, and we need to see increased investment. The Irish Postmasters Union have stated that if the investment of 75 million over the next 5 years, that is 15 million a year, isn't provided, the future for the post office network is bleak. So we need to see, with increased investment, new initiatives like increased banking services or support for different government schemes. It was almost like it was a concerted effort to move from the post office to banks for social welfare payments. We need to see that reversed. Post offices contribute about 776 million to the social economic value of our country as well, and we have to keep that in mind. Just worth comparing with our EU counterparts. In France, they invest 270% more in the post office network than we do. In Belgium, 500% more, and in Italy, 340% more. I think we need to learn from those. Thank you.